11 U.S. space scientists either dead or missing.
Pack the names together: NASA, MIT, Los Alamos, Caltech, and it looks like a pattern. It feels like something. It feels sinister.
12 scientists, really prominent U.S. scientists, who have either been murdered or disappeared.
President Donald Trump said the deaths and disappearances of scientists might be random.
2 more people are linked to the mysterious web of dead or missing American scientists and researchers, bringing the total number to 13.
12 scientists, and they all work on the same thing, aerospace. I don't think there's been 12 fucking anything that passed away.
So we have another prominent space expert dealing with UFOs, researching UFOs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, who has passed away, and once again suspicions have arisen. So in this video I'm going to recap some of the scientists and researchers and specialists in UFOs and space technologies that have either gone missing or been killed, and I'm going to...
Hello?
Hey, this is Anne from the Digital Activation Department.
some of the new updates. And before we get to that, I'm very excited to reveal that the FBI are actually now officially looking into these deaths and these disappearances. A lot of people want to brush this under the rug and say it's nonsense and these are crackpots and there's nothing's going on here, but I don't personally believe it. And apparently the FBI...
Yeah, the FBI said they were looking into it, but for there to be 12 who passed away, I don't think there's been 12 fucking anything that passed away. I don't think, unless it's like a mass, you know, shooting or like a plane crash or something like that, or a pile up on the fucking highway with 50 cars, then you might lose 12 people. But like, if there were 12 soccer players who passed away, the world would tweak the fuck out. Why the hell did 12 soccer players pass away in such a close amount of time? 12 scientists, and they all work on the same thing, aerospace.
This week, the FBI announced that it is now investigating a string of mysterious deaths and disappearances involving top U.S. scientists over the past several years. Some had reported ties to the UAP community, the UFO community. But today, we got thrown a curveball. Amy Eskridge is one of those who is dead. We know what happened to her. She's dead. She'd been working on anti-gravity technology, allegedly sent alarming text messages to a friend just a month before her suicide. These were the kinds of messages. If you see any report that I killed myself, I didn't. If you see any report that I overdosed, I didn't. She continued, if you see any reports that I shot anybody, I didn't. Now, you could say, okay, maybe she was struggling. These are pictures of her hands. She said that she had been hit with some kind of weird energy ray device, and her hands were red. Her window had weird marks on it. News Nation has been digging on this. We talked to the person who says that he got sent these texts, and he is a former intelligence official. But her father and her family says sometimes scientists just die. They kill themselves like our daughter did. They don't believe it was suspicious. Given her claims of harassment and those texts.
Maybe they believe that it wasn't suspicious because they don't want to be next. Maybe that's why. Or maybe they are that fucking stupid.
She was very specific that she felt she was being followed, stalked. She had evidence that someone had broken into her residence and gone through her personal belongings, and she told friends that she feared for her life. Oddly, is this
Bro, she thought she was being stalked. She said people were watching her. There was some direct energy weapon hidden through her window, and she showed, I remember seeing a video where she showed that if she covered up the window, you know, the burning stopped. The burning that was happening on her hands. Then she feared for her life. And then says, if you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I overdosed myself, I most definitely did not. If you see any report that I killed anyone else, I most definitely did not. It seems like she knew what was going to happen. It seems like she knew somebody was going to put this on top of her and make it seem like she did something. Because why in the hell would she say that? This isn't just some bitch who's like making up shit for attention or whatever. This is an aerospace fucking scientist. And it just adds to the case when there's now 12 scientists who have died in mysterious ways. From what I was reading, it was some were natural causes, which we know how that goes. Some were car accidents, which we fucking know how that goes. I don't even think we've seen 12 animals that passed away near the same time. You know, if they're all in the same place and they all pass away, you know something's going wrong with that environment or that habitat that they're in. Maybe there's not enough water, there's not enough food, whatever. that's why 12 of them are passing away. Well, what's the reason behind why 12 of these scientists are passing away? There has to be some type of outside reasoning.
She told friends that she feared for her life. Oddly is this allegation that she was a victim of directed weapon energy. That's a rare thing, but also just adds more intrigue to this story.
So look, I personally think something's going on. Now, my opinion is that this is a hostile foreign government trying to take out very smart people in the United States who might be developing technology that is going to make America unbeatable in wars. Now,
That's very possible. I thought about this too, actually. It seems like in this type of technology, in this sector alone, it seems like we're leading the world. So maybe it was some, foreign entity who was sending agents to take these people out and make it seem like they did it to themselves or whatever. But we also know what it could be. Seen a lot of weird shit happen in the past.
researcher Mark Sokol, who actually conducted Amy's interview back in 2020 that went viral, he spoke about witnessing and experiencing attacks while he was in her presence. So he thinks it's all true and he witnessed it.
Yeah. So when she was here, we were sitting on the couch and we had just made popcorn. We were going to watch a movie, and the popcorn in the bowl started to pop again. And, it already cooled off, so it started to pop again. It was in my hand.
Wow.
And she started to scream and vomit. And she's telling me they're attacking us. I opened up the door where, the energy weapon would have been emanating from, because it was just in line with the couch. And sure enough, parked across the street in where there was a parking lot. But the parking lot is for a restaurant. The restaurant was closed because of the pandemic. Parked not in a parking spot, but facing the door. And the front windshield was tinted, which is illegal. The front windshield of the car was tinted. And I thought that was very suspicious. I ran back inside. We went into the Faraday cage, and she was trembling. We were really scared about that. Simultaneously, they hacked my Amazon account and put a gun in the checkout, like a BB gun, Glock, whatever.
Something gives me the idea that these two were friends with benefits, you know what I'm saying? He was at her crib, they were about to watch a movie, they had some popcorn, he was finna get the Twister Top 3000 whenever they finished the popcorn. Then they got hit with a fucking energy weapon. The fuck is going on?
And this is when the very tragic news came out that UFO researcher and author David Wilcock tragically passed away. And this would be kind of the latest suspicious death in the UFO community. So I'll read you the full article. It says, UFO researcher David Wilcock found dead in Colorado. Coroner's office confirms. His death follows an explosion of conspiracy theories about an alleged string of deaths of people tied to sensitive research. Wilcock was a significant figure in what's known as the disclosure movement, a belief that the US government was withholding information about extraterrestrial life. His death follows an explosion of conspiracy theories on social media about an alleged string of deaths and disappearances.
The disclosure movement. So this motherfucker was a scientist working on aerospace. He must have had information that he wanted people to know, and the government was like, nah, fuck that, you ain't telling nobody. I mean, just think about it. Put yourself in the government shoes, right? If you got a motherfucker who got some information about you that you really don't want them to release, you gonna do everything in your power to make sure they don't release it. These scientists, it seems like they may have had some information that the government really didn't want released. A lot of these conspiracy theories that we've had around here ended up being true. I mean, you could look them up yourself. It's going to be a long ass list of conspiracy theories that have came true. Our government hasn't been the best when it comes to information. That there was the whole NASA mass surveillance thing when Edward Snowden was there. He knew they were watching people's shit, watching civilian shit. And he just wasn't supposed to say shit. What did he do? He fucking went live on the news and told everybody about it. And then when he told everybody about it, he had to leave the country immediately because he knew he'd be fucking killed. Now where does Snowden live? Russia. He lives in Russia and he still can't come back here. If he comes back here now, he's going to prison or whatever. If we're not so bad, why is Edward Snowden till this day, 2026, when this shit happened in 2013, 13 years later, Why is he such a huge problem to them? Why is he still gonna face time in prison for exposing the truth?
Anna Paulina Luna, describing his death as tragic. We're praying for his family and loved ones and the millions of lives he impacted, she wrote on X. Included in her tribute was a reference to the Bible verse John 8:32, which reads, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." So the Office of the Boulder County Coroner, they confirmed that he made the decision to check out himself.
Why you gotta say he offed himself? Like, is that a YouTube no word? Like, you can't say the other word for it? Why is everybody so soft now? You can't say shit anymore. You literally can't say none. And then if you do, everybody's like looking at you like, oh, what a fucked up guy. Like, shut your bitch ass up, bro. What happened to freedom of speech? Everything is so fucking controlled nowadays. It's so stupid. I don't get this shit. When I was younger, when I was growing up, you could say anything you fucking wanted. I don't think there was a fucking word that you couldn't say. Everybody and their mama used every single word they wanted to, and nobody got in trouble for it. Now you say the wrong shit, you lose your job and all type of weird shit. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm gonna keep saying what I want. If folks don't like it, hold my nuts.
2 days before his death, he shared a post addressed to his dear family on X. He said, "I'm not sure yet if I'm doing a show tomorrow. I've had some very intense stuff going on this weekend. Either way, I want you all to know how much I love and appreciate you. Always remember the Creator is within and we live in a loving universe." A day later, he shared on the same social media platform he had slept miraculously well and planned to host a live show about a picture posted by President Trump in which the commander-in-chief appeared to resemble Jesus Christ. Monica Razor, who served as the director of NASA's Lab Materials Processing Group, vanished while hiking in California in June 2025. She remains missing.
Even if it was other countries, and our FBI is just now coming out announcing that they're gonna do an investigation into all these people missing, that's why they all fucking dying. Because they die and we don't do shit about it. It's kind of like the whole Iran thing. Like, we're fighting in Iran, but we're backing off in a lot of ways too, and it just makes us look bad in general. Like, we're supposed to be the toughest on the planet. We go to war with Iran, and it's not turning out so well. It's kind of making us look weak. And this is the same thing, you know, if you go to Russia or like China, and you start offing their aerospace workers, I guarantee you they start catching shit up real quickly. We're just now starting to figure stuff out a little bit, even though we don't know shit, and there's 12 of them who died. So that makes us look absolutely terrible as Americans.
Air Force General William Neal McCaslin disappeared in February 2026 after leaving his home in Albuquerque with a .38 caliber revolver. President Trump told reporters on Thursday that the disappearances were pretty serious stuff, but hopefully a coincidence or whatever you want to call it. So it's all very, very suspicious. Now, I'll be real, the way that the death went down in this case, it's hard. The Boulder County authorities released a detailed timeline of exactly what happened to try and quell the public's fears that this might have been some kind of assassination of a UFO.
Nah. How come both of the scientists we just heard about, so both Amy Eskridge and David, had statements from their family coming out saying that they did take their own life? Why, that's weird. I mean, I get that there's conspiracy theories about it, but in situations like this, people typically stay quiet. It's like if there was a crowd of people, some random person gets punched, and then everybody starts saying that I did it. Well, if I get one of my homies to come out and be like, he didn't do it, that's kind of suspicious. Then it makes it kind of seem like I did do it.
But this, unfortunately, does just seem like an obvious tragedy. Now,
bro, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping, or am I right to feel like this guy don't know what the fuck he talking about? I know that statement comes from his family. Obviously, they know him better than anybody else, but nah. You know, you can be struggling with depression. You could be struggling with a million different things. Hell, I struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety, all type of stuff. I just keep pushing. I'm a G. I act like it ain't, I act like it ain't happening. Anytime I start feeling a certain type of way, I'm like, just get over it, bro. Shut the hell up. It's okay. Shit gotta get done either way. And so I just put it to the side and keep pushing. I would never do something like that to myself. in a million years, no matter how bad it got. So I say all that to say, you know, just because you're struggling with those things doesn't mean this is something you did. And it seems like the family is kind of putting that on him. But I don't know, you know. I'm gonna stand with you, David.
You know, every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary.
You know, it just makes me sad watching this.
That video got 10,504 comments. Unless he was doing something extremely bad, I don't think he's struggling that badly financially like his family tried to make it out to be. And the stuff that he just said does not seem like somebody who is, you know, on the verge of taking their own life. As this guy said, I believe it was 2 days prior to the incident happening that he made this video.
He says, I'm a personal friend of David who just learned of his passing. I was at his wedding and I've known him 17 years. David's stance on the karmic implications of the S word would have prevented him from taking his own life. He believed the price of doing would be so enormous, and he believed his mission in this incarnation no matter the cost. I do not believe the official story at all. Edit, a few days after I wrote this, it was confirmed by his family that a letter was left and that David did do this. It's obvious that he did it under extreme emotional pressure, and though it's out of character to many of us, despair is a powerful force. R.I.P.
Nah, bro. Nah. Sounds like maybe David was a little religious. I don't care what nobody says. I do not fucking think bro did it. Hold my nuts.
Above was not made by somebody that was feeling that way. Web of lies unraveling before our eyes.
That's
he would
what I
never
said.
do that. He was saying murder, right out murder. He did say people were after him. He wasn't feeling that way. You all know that. Call it what it is. It's just really sad.
How come both of these people say people are after them, say weird shit has happened, and he's saying scientists are disappearing, missing, doing all this stuff, and then both of them off their self? Clearly, it seems like people who know him, people who are fans of him, have seen him speak about the karmic implications of doing such a thing. So he wouldn't do it. That alone, right there, with only 2 people, is sign of some weird shit. But the crazy part is there's 10 more.
Where in this video he would actually also open up about his recent weight loss journey and just his general sort of overall well-being. And again, it does definitely paint a picture of somebody that you just will be surprised did what happened. You know, it sounds like all the evidence supports that's what happened.
We're going to get way into disclosure. So, oh, well, you're looking slim and super hot. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, even the jawline is very nicely cut right now. You know, I even have like blood vessels that are starting to show up on my neck.
My boy.
You know, like, and those are sexy too, aren't they? I mean,
but he would actually open up in this. He would say that a natural death is the only death, and he'd reflect on his spiritual views, giving kind of more fuel to the fire that he would have never done this to himself.
Shepherd, most of us can't do this. You don't get to resurrect. If you lay down your life, you're done. So please don't do that. Please don't be stupid. Okay, it's something you.
First the fuck off. I said he was probably religious, and I had no clue. And he's religious. But then he just said on his live, don't do something so stupid. And you want me to believe he did it? You want me to believe 2 days after he told everybody, don't do something so stupid, he went and did something so stupid? He didn't fucking do it. Fuck you.
Again, you know, natural is the only way to go. But anyway.
So he was excited for the UFO disclosures that were coming up. And, you know, it's just sad to see him go out like this because, as you know, as a fellow content creator.
Bro, it's not just sad. It's pissing me off hearing him say that. It's not just sad. It's bullshit. After hearing him talk on here, after seeing the way he looks, after seeing him say that he lost weight, the neck veins are coming out, the jawline, a natural death is the only way. You want me to believe that?
So I'm really happy that I got to bring you the show today, guys. I didn't know if I was going to do one. I was really down. My energy has been really down from these symptoms that I've been having. It's been very hard to work. I've had a really low energy situation, but you know, the more that I can get ahead of the game and get back.
What symptoms was he having? Is he having symptoms of feeling like shit? Are these symptoms of depression, or are these possibly symptoms of the same weapon that was hitting Amy Eskridge? Look, motherfucker, we're getting fucking scammed. As usual.
So, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's sad to hear Winfrey just passed away. Bright butterfly wing. That is so weird because last night, I was lying in bed and thinking, wouldn't it be sad if Winfrey passed away? He's the guy that wrote the Reincarnation of Edgar Cayce book with me. Last night I had that thought. I am not kidding you, and now you're telling me this. Lotus Girl says, I can't listen to your comedy. Well, sorry. Everybody really likes it.
And this will be reporting on his death, David Wilcock's death. Community claim his biographer Winfrey died 2 days before the UFO author's alleged decision to end things. Says Winfrey, the writer who co-authored a book with David Wilcock exploring reincarnation and spiritual transformation, reportedly died just days before Wilcock's own death on April the 20th. California, the Unity Church of Flagstaff. He also hosted workshops with a collaborator named Terry, during which he reportedly played guitar, and attendees described experiencing unusual energies in the room.
Unusual energies in the room, bitch. I never believed in energy weapons, none of this weird shit. Bro, you telling me this motherfucker felt sick? The other lady basically proved she was being hit by an energy weapon. Basically, this motherfucker was feeling sick prior to his death. People experience unusual energies in the room. We're more worried about sending off everything we have. We have enough of our own fucking problems.
So this was apparently the letter that David wrote to the family that was released by the family. It says, I do deeply apologize to everyone if something like an accident ended up happening. Thank you for loving me. I feel I've done the very best that I could. My health has collapsed from poverty, starvation, and disease. I have now almost completely run out of money. I did my very best to keep on.
These letters can be written by anybody.
Family of supporters, I want you to know how much I love you and how sorry I am if something ended up happening to me. I know that accidents are possible in my reduced state.
If he thought something was possibly going to happen to him that was not of his own doing, I feel like he would have wrote this letter anyway. That's what the fuck I would do. If I feel like, you know, I'm going to get offed in some type of way, I'm going to make it the hardest fucking mission you ever accomplished, bitch. But I'm going to write something like this to the family just to make sure there's something left from me. And I would say something along the lines of this. I want you to know how much I love you and how sorry I am if something ended up happening to me.
So following David Wilcock's death, someone close to him actually came out to announce, once again, there's no conspiracy. This was just a tragedy.
Don't think it's a conspiracy, but it's certainly a dialectic. we talked over, David and I, and some of my study partners have been talking about the word like dialectical, and the difference between the dialectical and paradox, and that two things can be true, generally opposite, but true at the same time.
I don't even care. I don't necessarily believe anything that this fucking fedora wearing Deep Spice motherfucker was about to say.
The dialectic is when we don't resolve them. We just accept those two situations and live within them. So yes, you, the audience.
If you know a government might off you, that's a dialectical situation, because there's none you can fucking do about it.
He was making anti-self-harm comments on his show. That's true. He did make that, and he was staunchly opposed to, he knew the spiritual and karmic implications of taking one's life. He was well aware. We discussed it many times. But I think that's part of the dialectic.
So look, that's what. my boy. Nah, my boy. He's trying to make it seem like he knew the risks and decided to do it anyway. Nah, buddy.
But here's the reaction over on Reddit. People saying another UFO researcher found dead. David Wilcock claimed he would never harm himself back in 2022. In 2022, he felt the need to let people know he would never do that. He was onto something important. 4 years later, he dies by his own decision alongside 10 other scientists and researchers. So, look, I don't think there is a conspiracy.
I don't give a fuck what you think with them ugly ass glasses on. Doesn't it kind of match up with what's going on a little bit? Like, he's saying, I'm really excited to find out this information. I'm about to fall onto something big. Let's just be hypothetical for a second and say he did fall onto something big. And then he dies. Maybe he found something that he was not supposed to find. You ain't gonna make me believe it. Not just because you come over here with these octagon-shaped glasses and tell me something. No.